if you want to keep the country corrupt, keep them uneducated. Malaki yung problema natin sa education.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a lot of thoughts, but they're not for public consumption. Hey guys, welcome back to Seoul. Today we are joined by a former public servant who is now the COO of the PUSA Foundation, a non-government organization whose goal is to share the message of purposeful hope. If you guys like the content, please subscribe. That really helps us a lot. Sup, Vaughn? How are you, man?
Good
Good.
day, Mr. Maki Castello.
Kumusta? Where'd you come from today?
Work, actually.
Yeah.
Got traffic because of all of the happenings
Yeah.
lately in the
Oo.
Philippines.
Yeah, man. That's been it's been a crazy couple of weeks, bro.
Yes, mainit.
Yes.
Sumabay.
Did you know today, since you said mainit, I saw a story. My friend was like, it's 46 degrees out today. And I didn't realize because we were inside. But it's been so hot, bro.
Thank you
Tapos
for
naka-sweater
aircon.
ka pa. Ay, di ka naiinitan.
Sa pagpasok lang.
Okay.
Aircon ng space mo. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, yes. So, thank you for joining us. But for those who don't know you, I mean, obviously we know each other. But for those who don't know you, can you introduce yourself to the camera?
Well, my name is Von Kilao. So, I am the Chief Operating Officer of the PUSO Foundation.
Okay, awesome. Gusto ko yung you stared down the camera just to say that, no? So, the Puso Foundation,
Yeah.
man. Would you mind explaining to the audience what the Puso Foundation is and what you guys do?
Yeah, so we're a non-government organization. It's actually an organization based in the US, and we are doing the works here in the Philippines. So it's actually a community of millennials, Gen Zs who want to really, give back to the community, create the purposeful impact.
I remember about 2017, 2018.
Yes.
I was with you. We went to like the backside of Taguig, right? And then
Correct.
we were helping out giving resources in one of those basketball courts. Tapos you guys needed photographers as I was one of your volunteers. So how long has Puso Foundation been running?
Well, alam mo ba, yun yung first day ko rin sa Puso.
Oh, no way.
That project
And
is
now
my
you're the
first
chief
day.
operating officer.
Yeah, so
oh my
before I
gosh.
was really, volunteer, pag kailangan ng taga-takbo, taga-bilhe, parang that's how I started serving.
Okay.
So it was really actually on a covered court, but Puso started kasi in basketball camps.
Okay, in the States.
Here in the Philippines, actually
okay.
yung mga volunteers are really into basketball. Sir, quick background lang, yung mga group na to in the US who started Puso are like basketball teammates in a varsity team in a elementary or high schools
Okay.
in the US.
Are they Filipino?
Yes, they are, but grew up in the States.
Okay.
So yung mga magbabarkada na yun, one of it is Rob Agnes. He planned going to the Philippines for how many years of staying in those states. So when he went here, sinabihan yung mga friends niya na, hey, I'm going to the Philippines and some of my days will be spent on a mission. Yung friends niya nag-donate na, hey, can I donate to the mission? Like, kung ano yung kaya. Kasi mga bata pa sila, like 19, 20. Then Rob went to the Philippines, made a event in Zambales, helping the Aitas.
Yeah.
So umakyat siya ng bundok, may mga dala siyang mga medicines, mga food packs, and all of that. And that's how it started. So pagkatapos noon, he
This
went
was
to the
way
Philippines.
back when?
2017.
Okay. So just right about the time that we
Yes.
were volunteering.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, man.
So nung nag-start siya, after the trip to the Philippines, he went to the States, and then kinuwento niya sa mga barkada niya na, hey, this is how it looks like in the Philippines. Maybe we can do something. So the friends automatically
They joined in na.
let's go, let's do it. And then that's how Puso started.
Okay. Pero wala pang organization nun.
Hindi pa. Actually, iba pa yung name niya before.
Okay. Does Puso stand for something? There's always periods.
It's purposeful, unconditional service to others.
Oh, that's awesome. So
Puso.
I got introduced to Puso because of Jordan.
Yes.
And I think Jordan is the common thread
True.
for
Shout
us
out
to
to Jordan
Puso.
Bartlett.
Yeah. When you were starting out with Puso, you started as a volunteer.
Mm.
What were their projects then?
Oh, actually, basketball camps. I
Okay.
asked Jordan, same Jordan we're talking
Yeah.
about. Sabi ko,
Not Michael Jordan.
not Michael Jordan. Sabi ko kay Jordan, hey, can you help the community where I used to live? What we did is, okay, we scouted the court on how can we do it. And then the next week of the event, nagkaroon ng fire during the weekday.
yes, I remember
Saturday
this.
yung event. So yung basketball camp, immediately, naging fire relief operation. What, I really admire in the community of Puso, mabilis yung action. Like when we say na, hey, this is the need, it's not taking so much of deliberation in terms of helping, ganyan, and nag-transition siya sa
Okay.
mga COVID relief.
Interesting. Paano yung may board ba kayo? Like paano ba yung
Meron, yeah.
like is there a hierarchy to this? Like who's leading? I know you're the COO, but like is there like a board that manages the operations of Puso?
Yes, there's a board of directors that based in the US. So different like in terms of grants, if in terms of finances. Dito sa Philippines naman, we're doing the operation side. Kumbaga sa US, the love of the Filipino has been always into helping kasi they're doing the funding in the
Okay.
US. And then most of the help, though we're active to different countries, but most of the help is going to the Philippines.
So this is not just simply a US Philippine connection. It's also something that you guys have branched out to other countries as well.
Yes.
But you're
Yeah.
mostly heading the Philippine
Yes.
operations.
But mainly the Philippines is the main beneficiary
Okay.
of all of this
Yeah.
fundraising in the US.
Okay. And this is something that you do full time or it's something that you do on the side? Or...
On the side,
Wow.
I have a corporate job. I have an 8 to 5 office. I worked as a marketing manager for a retail brand. It's actually tough to like run the entire operation
Yeah.
while doing a certain job that also requires your time, your effort, your attention, and all of that. While at the same time running the team, running the operations, and of course continuous communication to the US side. Because the funding goes there and you want everything to be transparent,
Yeah.
For them to be updated also. So may trabaho pa tayo aside from this. We're a regular person.
I wanted to pick your brain, right? Because now that you've been here doing this for about 7 years, what are the tangible projects that you guys have done throughout the years that baka people might want to know about?
Well, we have been active in sports clinics.
Okay.
Like we had football, basketball clinics. So we're tapping in PBA players. We just had actually last FIBA in the Philippines. It was held here. We had Tyron Lu to do a sports clinic in Taguig City, and then we have medical missions happening in Visayas and Mindanao.
Okay.
And then we're doing academic support in terms of especially nung hirap ang tao during the pandemic.
Yeah.
So I think one of the struggling niche of people are the students. So we're trying to like push for like any academic support. Mimigay tayo ng food packs also for the COVID relief. For the COVID during the time of COVID, and then yung mga communities na was really struggling putting food on their tables. And then also we had like mental health campaign to a certain school.
Okay. Yeah. How was that like?
Well, actually, the certain school reached out for some big issues for high school students, and parang the school management really needs help from the outside. So they called us up not to do like mental health because there's like huge issues in the school. I think the worst is suicide, and we have to like kind of like get in, and we invited like we've partnered with a certain student from Ateneo who's going through like psychology,
Okay.
but at the same time injecting spiritual ideas about it. Then we went to the school and we had like a 2-month program in the school. Then aside from that, we're doing a project right now. It's ongoing. We have a housing project in Siargao.
Oh wow. Okay.
We call it Hope Reframed because these are the homes and families na-affect nung 2021.
Right.
And hanggang ngayon, up at this moment, wala pa rin silang bahay. hindi pa rin sila nakakabalik sa mga regular homes
Mm-mm.
nila.
Yeah.
Some of them
Odette as well.
nakikitira, yeah,
Yeah, Odette.
nakikitira sila, and or sometimes yung mga public facility, they're still using it. So minsan like yung bawal na lang yung natira sa bahay nila.
Mm.
And minsan pag binivisit namin yung location,
Yeah.
yun na lang talaga.
Okay.
And then the rest is like a space. So what we're trying is to rebuild homes in Surigao up on this moment.
Nice, man. Marami pala nangyayaring movements
Yes,
ngayon.
marami.
How are you managing all of this? Like,
Well, I think the key is to tap in the right volunteers, and of course you have to really get what's the direction in terms of what you want to happen. This is your vision, and by God's grace, we have been giving really genuine hearted volunteers whose heart is also to really give back to the community.
ano ba yung vision ng Puso? When you talk to your volunteers, what is it that you tell them? Like, this is where we want to go, and this is what we're doing about it.
Well, the big thing about it is the two word purposeful hope. Our goal is to not just give relief, packs, yung mga canned, whatever rice,
Yeah.
because we believe that saglit lang yun eh. Yung
Right.
mga yan, 1 week relief lang yan. But what we're doing in Puso is we sit down with the beneficiaries, because sometimes hindi uso yung kamusta eh.
Okay.
Hindi siya common word eh. Parang yung kamusta, nagtatapos siya sa okay lang, usually. So, what we're doing in Puso is we take time. We use these projects. Na, hey, okay, we can help you with this. If there's fire, kailangan nyo na unan, and all of that, mga utilities. Pero, what we do is we really get the volunteers. We orient the volunteers. Hey, okay, this is the plan in terms of logistics of distribution. But after that, we have to sit down with the families. We have to talk to them one by one. So as much as volunteers we can get, we're really getting them. And then we want them to like encourage them na this is what happened. However, this is God's plan for you. Those kind of reminders, nakakalimutan yun eh. Mabilis makalimutan yun if you went through hard times.
Okay.
Right? Especially kung nawala sa'yo bahay, ang hirap pag maging positive. Ba't nasunog yung bahay ko? Those are the questions, di ba? Or pag binaha, nawala yung bahay. Minsan, katulad din sa Siargao, maraming namatay din, casualties ang nangyari. And it's just hard to be positive. And just impose something that's intended for that. Most of our time spent in the community is really on one-on-ones.
Okay.
And really ministering to them. We encourage them. We get to remind them hey, that God is still sovereign, that it is still in control, that this is temporary. Yeah, so what we're doing with Puso is not just refilling what was lost in terms of their personal properties, but also trying to impose also and empower them faith.
Okay. So faith seems to be a big part of the Pusa Foundation movement. Is this something that you guys had from the beginning, or is this something that just grew into the operations as it went on?
Well, I believe it's still it's what was there from the beginning, but it was not that strong.
Okay.
Because what made it strong are the volunteers also that went through the years. Kumbaga sa journey ng Puso, by year, may mga volunteers tayo who was really into this. And at the same time, we're trying to minister inside.
Okay. A lot of what you're sharing now is very outward. Like, hey, this is what we've been doing for the people, right? But I wanted to ask, siguro on a personal level, like, how has Puso been something that ministered to you personally? Like, I'm sure you have your own personal stories of how this movement has helped you.
Yeah, so actually, it started from the beginning.
Yeah.
My first volunteering is during I was 16.
Okay.
I was volunteering to the barangay
Okay.
doing Senakolo.
Okay.
So yung sinakali yung 'di ba yung Holy Week stage play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So may mga ganong events dun sa barangay namin. And then when I was 16 years old, I run as Sangguniang Kabataan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So from there, I was elected. Ganyan. So it opened my mind in terms of public service, community volunteerism. So nagkaroon ako ng heart hanggang sa ma-end yung term.
Yeah.
And then yung heart ko talaga, naiwan siya sa community eh. However, so I was praying for it. Like, Lord, well, at the same time, I was a struggling student,
Okay.
young professional, di alam ang purpose, kind of like confused.
Yeah.
And I was really praying for, continuing the public official post.
Okay.
So I was starting to run around 2017, 2018 for barangay. So I was asking the Lord, I've been praying for it. I believe this is my calling. I believe this is, my purpose to serve, in the community. However, I turned it down because may mga, actually, parang ni-revise yung SK Reformed Act. Tapos, may konti siyang loopholes. So, parang 24 years old yung requirement.
Pababa.
Yes, pababa. And I was 24.
Pero, so, if you entered,
pasok.
Pasok pa rin?
Pasok.
Okay.
Pa rin. Kasi yun yung nasa, like, requirements, ganyan. Pero may 24 and 0 months when you will read the entire Reformed Act. And I was like 24 and 10 months before the election. Pero kasi, maluwag that time. So may mga batch list ako na nakapasok sila.
Kahit 24 plus na sila.
So I know some people na, batchmate ko before when nung tinigil yung SK, kami yung nag-last term. Tapos ito yung next na term. And then, I have to like, act like with integrity. Shout out to Vico Soto for imposing those things to me. I'm asking him, like, hey, do you know about this? That time it was, Vico still a counselor.
Yeah.
So he just imposed integrity to me. Na kung alam mo na, may matatamaan ka dito kahit ikaw lang yung nakakaalam. Kasi yung mga public documents, yung nakikita sa mga Facebook, ito yung requirements, naka-24 lang eh. So from there, okay, I have to turn it down. Kahit alam kong pwede, nakakalusot. Pero
kahit alam mo nakakalusot, wag na.
Yeah, wag na.
Okay.
So from there, and then I was, it was May, and then there's an election for locals.
Yeah.
I was asked to run for a city councilorship.
Okay.
And from there, I was like, young, 24 naman. Feeling ko, I'm so young for this. Because when you think about, counselors where I live, though Vico Soto's setting a good, example that time, pero because he studied about it, and me, I didn't study, like, political. So, I asked the Lord, baka ito yung calling mo for me. Baka bigger. However,
hindi ka na SK.
Baka di ka na SK, pang counselor.
Counsel ka na wala.
Yeah. So, I was praying about it, weighing things, and really hard praying because it will change my life. Kasi public office na to eh. And na if I do it, I'll be the one in charge of the people of my coverage. I wanted it in my heart, but hindi ako equipped.
Okay.
To do it. So I have to turn it down again. It breaks my heart. Like I even cried for it. Because in my heart, I wanted it, but this is not your plan.
Yeah.
For me, maybe not yet. So that's where, in the same year, I met Jordan. Then Puso came. So from there, I tried serving. Hanggang sa naging regular volunteer na ako. Then I took the position back in 2020 to step as a program director. So we were managing the entire Philippines, and that's where I realized, Lord, this is really your plan for me. I waited, God has answered, and here we go, serving the Philippines, not just the city.
Okay. So, your story, you really wanted to serve, and you wanted to serve your community.
Yes.
And you thought that this was best served before through public service.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that still something that you want to do? Like, is that still something that you feel like you're being called to do?
I think at the moment, honestly, no.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. But when God opens it, we have to obey.
Okay.
But right now, I believe, God is calling us to be in the service of certainty under Puso.
Okay. Now that you see yourself more as a, public servant through the Pusa Foundation. What is your plans moving forward? I mean, the year 2025 just started. I'm sure there's a lot of things you guys have going on. You guys started from basketball clinics and then medical missions, and then moving towards other things. But is there any big thing racked up for this year that you guys have planned?
Well, right now we're doing another medical mission.
Mm-hmm.
This is tapping in a certain orphanage
Mm-hmm.
that has been adopting abandoned, abused newborn babies that was
Oh,
just left in the trash.
wow.
So we're doing a medical mission to that
Mm-hmm.
because actually, yung mga orphanages sa Philippines, they
Mm.
need funding
Right,
also.
right.
Yung mga supports kasi, sometimes it's inconsistent.
Mm.
However, once you have the kids inside, they are consistently there. And that's something that we want to, do. Like support these orphanages,
Mm-hmm.
do programs with them. Kasi, you know what, they are also volunteers. Wala silang pay.
Mm-hmm.
And, yung pinagkukuhanan talaga nila is support. And partnering with us as a private NGO,
Mm-hmm.
private organization, this is, a cool thing in terms of their pang-araw-araw.
Mm-hmm.
At least na-check yung mga bata and
Yeah.
all of that. And also kasi, one medical mission is not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Kasi na-check up mo lang eh. So
Yeah.
may mga follow-through.
Yeah.
And then we're partnering with UP Medical College. This year, may partnership also that's from the US.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yung mga Filipinos, yung mga young Filipino Americans that are going to the
Yeah.
Philippines, they're gonna explore the kind of missions we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is tapping in another medical mission in Surigao.
Okay.
It's called the island called Santa Filomena. And this is an island. Kung nasa Siargao ka, like, the famous Siargao
Mm.
Island,
Mm.
when you think about Siargao, it's partying and all of that.
Yeah, surf.
The surf,
Yeah.
the beach,
The boodle
and
fight.
yeah, the boodle fight, also, yung street restaurants and all of that.
Yeah.
And then actually the nearby islands in Siargao, we've tapped in them
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic, and there's another that we're tapping in. It's a medical mission, so it's an island in an hour away. Speedboat na to.
Okay.
Malayo talaga. And then ito yung mga residents na never met a doctor, hindi consistent yung, alam mo yun, sa mga barangay sa Manila, may mga health centers, may mga doktor, may mga nurses.
Yes.
Pero these are, yung mga bata na hindi pa nakakita ng doktor. Aside from that, we're trying to support their educational system there. Kasi yung mga bata na to, parang ang mindset nila hanggang high school, okay na.
Gets. Yeah.
Kasi kung mag-aaral sila ng college, they have to leave their family and leave kung saan man mayroong malapit na college.
Yeah.
So that's why we're
Usually
trying
main
to
cities sa Surigao
yes.
yan. Yeah.
That's why we're trying to strengthen their educational system there. Also, we're expanding.
Yeah.
Ngayon, here naman sa Manila, we're trying to make a program for special children.
Okay.
So we just made a library last year. It's a
Yeah.
public library. And then right now we're trying to kasi yung public library, it's made for the regular students.
Yes.
Kumbaga hindi siya friendly for mga SPED
Yeah.
students natin. So what we're trying to do now with the help of our volunteer
Yeah.
who's finishing like special education specialist in
Mm.
in the US. So yun yung specialty niya, and he wants to like start it kahit student pa lang siya at the moment. So ngayon yun yung mga steps
Galing.
na we're doing.
Galing, man. Like, parang from basketball clinics and relief goods, ito na yung mga ginagawa niyo.
Mhm.
And it's just so nice to hear how you moving from, I guess, public service na to still public service but in a private organization, how you're able to do so many things for the community. But also at the same time, parang I guess yung feeling ko, while one, I'm really happy and I'm proud of you that you guys are doing that.
Thank you.
Parang nasad ako in a way. Kasi bakit nyo kailangan gawin yon? Ba't hindi nagagawa ng gobyerno natin yon? Diba? Like, bakit kaya? I don't know,
Same
man.
question. Same question. Kasi when you go to this areas,
Yeah.
parang kaya naman.
Mm-hmm. I mean, kung nagagawa nyo.
Oo.
Diba?
Parang kaya naman nilang i-provide.
Mm.
Kasi minsan pag pumupunta ako sa certain area, kamusta ba yung economy, local economy in a certain area.
Mm-mm.
Kung meron ba dito mga establishments.
Yeah.
Pero minsan kaya naman eh.
Mm-mm.
I just don't know why it's not
We
happening.
don't know where the funds are coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Moving to what you said earlier, like it's very admirable that you turned down running for a position that you wanted because you thought na one, it's not fair, but two, you also wanted to keep your integrity and the integrity of, well, I guess our election system, all
Yeah.
these different things, right? And you also said na you know in your heart that you weren't prepared. But my question is, kasi I think if you notice, this coming year is an election year.
True.
And a lot of the people that are running for big positions are people who arguably are not prepared. I mean, I guess just to paraphrase, I'm not prepared in a way na parang, for example, 100 celebrities and influencers ang nag-apply for public office this year. So,
100?
yeah, that's a lot, bro. So, imagine, di ba? Parang yung mga ganun. I don't know. I just wanted to hear your thoughts as someone who wanted to be in public service.
Tanong lang, bakit? Bakit? Kasi, I mean, you know what? Kahit sa yung pinakamaliit na sektor ng lipunan sa barangay, may dala kang tao dito eh. Whatever you do, whatever you sign, whatever you decide, it affects the people. And very critical. Kasi the generation right now, they're needing a lot.
Yeah.
And ang bilis ng facing, di ba? Maraming nag-rise because of pornography, maraming nagiging rapist.
Okay.
Maraming nagiging concerned about mental health and all of that. And we're not electing the official that's intended for a certain problem. Kahit ganun na lang sana na kung may mag-stand up for health, this is the person. However, it's just sad.
Yeah.
Sometimes na nagiging parang labanan ng mga sikat yung sikat because of they're from a certain family or from showbiz. Let's say sa Senate. Malaking impact to sa magiging future, even on the same year right now and the next years to come, and every Filipino is affected to it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think I just wanted to ask, like if we were to think about whether or not someone is qualified, do you believe that people need or required to have studied public office or economics or things that are things that will involve the macro managing of a country to be able to be a public servant?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah, because there's a lot of technicalities.
Okay.
Na minsan kasi ang laban ng ibang, public servant, puso parang yung puso nila,
foundation?
not that one. Yung puso nila sa service. Pero minsan yung emotions mo, they're not enough to run a certain community, and it takes a lot of study. Okay. And I admire those, like Mayor in the Pasig City, Vico Soto, who studied it. Sometimes hindi rin naman required na maging abogado because there are ways for you to study the law without being, the attorney. However, in terms of handling the country, in terms of handling a city, it requires not just a heart for service, but also a mind that is willing to serve in terms of technicalities. Kasi minsan may certain program. Katulad, ngayon, uso yung ayuda. Ayuda is not the answer. We need a lot more than ayuda. Ayuda is just 1 week. Diba? And it's just sad na kapag kapag may nangyaring bagyo, diretso agad yung relief. Sige, okay yun. Yeah. Pero what comes after that is the more critical. Ano ba yung problema sa flood system nila? Diba, kahit yung mga kanal, as simple as that. May mga engineers, na sana rin mga umuupo na, that will focus on that. However, it's not yet happening, but we don't lose hope for those.
Yeah, we don't lose hope for those. It's just, I guess just talking to you, it is a sad reality, Like, we've been clamoring for public officials that would hopefully at least do something. Like, ang ganda na sinabi mo parang kahit itakal mo lang yung isang problema, parang enough na sana yung ganun.
Yeah.
But right now, it seems like it's a popularity contest. And it's been like that for many years. What do you think the problem lies? Is it something that is systemic? Or is it something that is cultural? Like, paano ba tayo makakabangon sa ganitong sa ganitong situation?
I actually read the book before. I forgot the title of the book, but one of the key lesson I've learned there is if you want to keep the country corrupt, keep them uneducated because they will not vote for the right person. The righteous in terms of, what they can do. Yung education, it gives you like a mind that is excellent enough or mindful enough on who to lead. Malaki yung problema natin sa education. It affects the kind of voting terms, like para yung mga Pilipino bumoto, ano ba yung dapat una nilang naisip in terms of a certain candidate. And I think that has been the problem since then. And I believe na hindi pa naman siya like hindi pa siya end in terms of that. Kasi sa ngayon, parang nakita ko pa rin siyang problem. Being in public schools in the Philippines, so nakita ko rin kung gaano rin, sana sobrang excellent sa school. Kasi sa school nagsa-start eh.
Yeah.
These kinder students, elementary students, they are the future voters. However, if we are trying to keep them with, a low quality education that will keep them think na ito okay na to, na pwede na tong iboto, ganyan, na mabilis ma-impluwensyahan. I think it starts from there. Getting the right education for the next generation. That affects a lot.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a lot of thoughts, but they're not for public consumption. But like, I guess I'm just really sad about, where our budgets are going.
Curious din ako dyan.
Diba? Parang, we know how much, but we don't know where they're going.
True.
Specifically talking about educational budgets, right? I guess at the end of the day, man, like hearing you and hearing what you have to say, you are not alone. You and I are not alone in wanting a better Philippines and hoping for a better Philippines. You guys are doing a lot. You mentioned not just mental health stuff, but education and building infrastructure as well. Do you feel like it's your responsibility to be of that help in that sector? Or is it just something that you're doing now because it needs to be done?
Good question. Minsan I want to think it's my responsibility, but it's not. Because sometimes when you try to measure, like it took your day, it took your weekend, sometimes you feel like it's your responsibility. But looking at it, it's really not my responsibility. My answer there is I have a capacity to do something.
Okay.
And it's my choice if I will take that.
Okay.
And I believe that, God has called me to this.
Okay.
God has called everyone also to help,
I like that. Like, if you have a capacity, you should take that shot. It's just something that I guess I've been mulling about for a while. Since I remember very, very recent lang to. Kasi lahat naman tayo, we all experienced the same crappy pandemic situation, right? And when something happened during that time, parang it's always like everyone has to pool together their money that at the time was harder to come by just to help out, like with floods or whatever during that time in the pandemic, right? It came to a point where I saw this post na parang why are we always the one having to be responsible to do these relief operations?
Yeah, I saw that, I think too.
Diba? Parang, and I guess it breaks my heart knowing that, to be honest, parang mayaman ang Pilipinas.
Mayaman ang Pilipinas.
Mayaman ang Pilipinas, bro. And it's not going where it should go. Man, sorry, depressed ako. But yeah, I guess moving into this coming elections, right? What are your hopes for the next elections and what kind of people we should be electing as public officials?
I believe that transparency is what we need right now. Because, me right now, I am a taxpayer. It's just sad because you don't have control to pay or not to pay.
Yeah.
Right? And how much to pay.
Uh,
It's just sad. Because, ang dami mo and dami mong bills and all of that. And I think right now what we need to really elect is someone who is transparent, while at the same time who has accountability. Because, well, transparency is a lot. Like, same question. Saan ba napupunta yung budget? And ang laki ng budget eh. Imagine sa Metro Manila alone, kung magkano yung naibabayad nating tax. However, ang dami, di ba? Like our healthcare, yung PhilHealth, di ba?
which is gonna increase again. by the
Yeah.
way.
Well, good thing for those who have, health card. Pero I've tried going to a public hospital. There's a lot of patients, siksikan, halo-halong issue ng health sa isang ER and all of that. Yung transparency right now is very much need because we need a leader who shows and handles well the fund. While at the same time, I want, ownership and accountability. Yung mga tao, ang bilis natin mag-forgive. Okay lang magpatawad sa Pinoy. Ang dali nating magpatawad. And we want leaders who take ownership. I take this responsibility of being your public official. So this is my promises and all of that. When you fail, it's fine to admit, diba?
Yeah.
And then also accountability na if you again fail, this is, you quit. If that calls you to quit, then quit. And right now kasi parang una, walang umaamin. Pangalawa, walang nagkukwit. Hanggang kaya mong i-survive yung next terms and next terms. And right now, I think Filipinos doesn't deserve yung mga pagkakamali na paulit-ulit. Mga pagkakamali na obvious, no? And ang bilis din natin mag-shrug off kasi.
Yeah.
And, for this election, may message to the, mga voters. Let's push for transparency and sense of accountability. We need that now. We really need that now.
Do you think there's still hope for the Philippines?
Yes, bro. 100%.
Nice. No flinching to say yes, bro. 100%.
Yes.
No, ako rin naman. I
Back
feel
to
the same.
Philippines, bro.
Yeah, I feel the same. I remember my family wanted to migrate, right? I never had that want or desire.
That's cool.
Because I always felt like I know that this isn't the best place to live, but if I leave and I'm one of those people who have a capacity nga to make a difference in one way, shape, or form, like I'm educated, I'm privileged in some way, I have good connections, even in that sense, like I'm not saying I'm a world changer, but I have some capacity to make a difference in my society. Why would I leave? Right? Parang nasasayangan ako when I have so many of my friends who are very, very talented, but they bring their talents elsewhere. Kasi nga, they can't find hope in this country anymore. So it's kind of sad, man.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah. Well, bro, you know what? I am so happy that you and Puso are doing what you guys do.
Thanks.
Is there any way that the people listening or, how can they support the Puso Foundation? How will they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so search us in Google. It's Puso Foundation. You can see us. We have our own website. So also there are ways to fund or to donate there. Also we have Instagram and then Facebook. Message us. We're actually the persons who's receiving these messages. So
Ikaw lang rin yung sasagot.
may team naman. Pero pino-forward din to us. Yeah.
What's the best way to help?
Right now, well, you can volunteer with us. Come on, Maki. You can volunteer with us again. So yeah, one thing is volunteering. Kasi you know what, with our discussions, parang we've tackled medical missions, we've tackled basketball camps, education support. This became possible because there are volunteers who's good at it.
Yeah,
Because it's gonna be hard for, like me, hindi ako medical person, pero may medical person inside the group. Meron tayong nurses, again, meron tayong educators, then may mga influencers din who's helping. So, yung strength, I think, the mga volunteers is maximized inside the group. So, that's where, this kind of events became possible because of these volunteers who's willing to share what they have, their talents, skill.
Awesome, bro. Thank you so much for your time, and we are so happy
Sure.
that you guys are doing what you do. Do you want to plug other things? Any other events? Anything that we can
Oh, we have medical mission coming in this June or July. If you want to take part of it, by if you're a doctor, if you're nurses, if you are a medical brand, or if simply you just want to be part of the logistics team, we have an event for you, and we're waiting for you. So please message us.
All right. Thank you so much for your time,
Sure,
Vaughn.
brother.
It's good to see you.
Yes, sir. Good to see you.